Post-match interview here at the Erie following this evening's 1-1 draw with Barton Rovers. James, certainly a lively Bedfordshire derby tonight. How did you see it?
I thought it was a really good game. I think if you were watching it as a neutral, it was a great game. It had everything, didn't it? Send-offs, penalties, mistakes that led to goals. You know, it was quite a good game if you were here watching time. It was a decent crowd as well, so they certainly got their value. From our side of it, in our view, Lee, I think certainly from my perspective that it was just a game of two styles really. We had a lot of the ball for the first half in particular, lots of good possession, but didn't necessarily do as much as we'd hoped with it. Obviously the goal that Barton got was from an error at the back, simply left a tap in, lost his foot in, and probably lost his foot in, hardly put a foot wrong ironically this whole season. And it was an easy tap into a net, so that was a setback. But the boys then responded really well and started to create some decent half chances, but couldn't quite get the conversion, didn't they? So I think it was a decent first half. Disappointing to go in 1-0 down because of that mistake. He didn't do anything to earn that goal as such, albeit it was a good finish. Second half, I thought we started a bit slowly, certainly not as we wanted to in the second half, but then grew into it again. And I think just over the course of that second half, we just started to get better and better again, and then we obviously got the equaliser through the penalty, and then it looked like there was only going to be one winner in terms of the momentum. Obviously Barton had a player sent off, and then we almost got the winning goal in the dying seconds. But having said that, although we had a lot of possession and had some decent chances after we got to 1-1, Barton could quite easily have won the game. The lad broke away on a counter, and Evie made a really good save before we ended up having the ball cleared off the bar from Charlie's end. So I thought it was a great game overall. Gutted we didn't win because obviously you want to try and win, but a draw was probably a fair result.
Is that how you saw it as well, Skip? Did you think it was a fair result? I felt, as I say, from my perspective, I saw it like James did. From a first half perspective, I felt we were the better team, but went in behind. I say if we're ultra critical, maybe apart from Alex hitting the bar, maybe we didn't test our goalkeeper enough in the first period, other than lots of possession. Second half, I felt we were slow to start, and I felt they controlled the first sort of 15 minutes. But do you, with the fact that both teams come into the game unbeaten, are you pleased to come out of it with that unbeaten record still intact, or do you feel like we should have won the game?
For being honest, I think we were the better side and we should have won the game. But that's not me being derogative to Barton, because they played their part, and probably if you speak to the Barton manager and their players, they're 1-0 up, so you tend to try and hold on to what you've got and try and play on the counter and pack the defence and midfield as they did. So you could argue that the score line dictated the play, and we had more of the play in the second half. And probably the evidence of that would be when it went 1-1, they suddenly looked to play again and came out and for periods of time looked the better side in the, when it was 1-1. So we've played in games where we're holding on to a lead and don't play very well, suddenly concede, it's all square, and then you go and play again. So I thought first half we were superb in our third and the middle third, and we were getting in behind them, inside the full-backs, but we just weren't finding the crosses, and we just didn't have that killer instinct. We got one penalty today, but flaming neck, there's an absolute...
That's what I was going to ask you. Obviously, our equaliser was from the penalty spot, but there was also two big incidents, one in the first half, one in the second half, where you generally go by players' reactions as to whether, from my angle on the other side of the pitch, I couldn't really see either, but it felt to me almost like the referee gave the penalty that he did because maybe the other one was more of a penalty than that one.
I'm going to have to look at the VO, because the first one, which is Adam Hunt bursting in, gets sandwiched out, and he says he got a toe punt to the ball, and he's actually clean through. The player's reaction says, "Oh, something's happened." That's in the first half. The second half is probably the most stonewall penalty you'll ever see. As Bondi's, he's clean through 6 yards. The ball's broke from a corner. He's on the 6 yard box, about to pull the trigger, and he has been absolutely clattered. And you just get the feeling, in my opinion, if he gives a penalty, he's got to give a red card because he's stopped a goal scoring up. He's 6 yards out. And the player's reaction tells you everything. And everyone's gone up, and the crowd down the side, yes, they're FC supporters, so that's a little bit of, probably not an independent view. But the referee and linesman, I think, knew that, they've made a mistake there. And then the penalty that we do get is probably the softest of the three, because no one, I don't think anybody really appealed. Again, I'd like to look at the VO footage on that, because, but we get it, and I think we deserved it at the time for the first one. But again, it's one of those. I thought the referee, he let the game flow. There was a lot of antics going on. He was waving play on, and physical game, great local derby. I don't think there was what you'd call a malicious or dangerous tackle, but we end up, I think we've had 4 yellows, they've had they've had a red. It's a scuffle at the end. So good value for money, good game.
Excellent stuff, James. Looking at our start to the season as a whole, we've now played Welling Garden City, we've now played Biggleswade Town, we've now played Barton Rovers. So to remain unbeaten in that period, as I say, still very, very early days in the season, but you must be really pleased with the progress that we've made at the start of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't do much better, really. Like you say, you're unbeaten. We had a couple of games rearranged, one of which was meant to be a home game that was played away. And I think you say Biggleswade Town, we've got a win against Welling, draw against Biggleswade. You can't ask for much more, really. Obviously, we want to turn them into wins, but let's be honest, it's a fantastic start overall, and we're still in the trophy as well. So can't ask for much more, Lee, can we?
Excellent stuff. Quick turnaround again. Busy week next week. We've got Stockfold away, and we've got then Ashford United away in the FA Trophy. We look to mix things up for the midweek game, because obviously Stockfold away will pose a different kind of challenge to maybe playing a home game on a perfectly flat surface here. Stockfold always, we found in sort of our time, that has always been a difficult place for us to go.
Yeah, no, we'll be looking around. I mean, again, we've had to apologise to one or two of the blokes who didn't get on today, but I said before we started this interview to James and yourself, we need to mix it around, because they're all good enough, and while you don't like to change a winning side, and I think today's team picked itself after the Hitchin performance, where at times I've been told we were absolutely outstanding. I missed it personally. So, that it sort of picked itself. Played very well again today, so it'd be easy just to pick the same 11. Well, if you do that, you're soon going to be struggling for squad, because people want to play football. So, in my opinion, early thoughts will be to change it around on Tuesday. Will be a tough game, so we're not taking them lightly. But as every team has to do, you've got to keep people happy. You can't just expect people to sit on the bench for 5, 6, 7 weeks at a time and not get any minutes. So we'll be looking to do a little bit of changing, and then of course we go into Saturday's game, and I believe that's on AstroTurf, and we've got players who play slightly better on AstroTurf than grass. So again, we'll mix it around then. But we're in it to win both games. Let's not kid ourselves. So. And we're good enough as a group. So looking forward to it. And the games, when you're in the middle of a run like this, the games can't come quick enough, really. You're looking to play. I mean, some of the lads are quite happy again if they have a game tomorrow. So good vibe at the moment around the club.
Excellent stuff, gents. Well, we look forward to Tuesday's game. Obviously, the last time the two sides met, we was 4-0 up at half time and ended up drawing 4-4. So I would say, maybe not looking for more of the same, but certainly in the entertainment factor, hopefully it'll be another entertaining local derby. So we look forward to seeing you then.
Thanks, Lee.
Thank you.